Dale Cure. I help families create health, harmony, and prosperity by providing resources, information, and a unique opportunity in the network marketing industry. So go on over and hit that subscribe button. Are you the mom of a special needs child and you've been through the biomedical, you've been through the diet, you've done the restriction diets, and you've done it all, OT, all of that, and you're still not really seeing a lot of progress with your child? That's what we're talking about today. My name is Dale Cure, and I have a really, really special lady with me today, Allie, the mom of 6. Oh my
Yep.
God, 6 children. Amazing.
Yep.
Warrior woman.
Yeah.
And 4 of those children are special needs children. And today we are talking about 2 of the children and what she's doing with them that has really made a difference, like a huge change. So, Allie, thank you so much for offering to share your story with us. I
Absolutely.
know that is going to bring so much hope to parents that are just in that place where they just don't know what to do. They've tried it all and they just are getting nowhere, just
Yep.
feeling so frustrated. So tell us a little bit
Frustrating.
about, where you were before, just briefly, because we really want to know what you're doing now.
Right. Well, and with 6 kids, there's a lot that happens in life with 6 children. Our 2 oldest boys have autism, ADHD, sensory processing disorder, and the younger of the 2 also has pica and self-injury and verbal apraxia issues.
Wow.
So that's life in a nutshell for us. Is very challenging, and trying to assess needs for someone who can't really speak up for themselves has been really, really challenging. The boys that we're talking about today are Robbie is 13 and Reese is 11. Robbie is very he's a little young for his age, but he's very sweet and very smart. And Reese also he seems a little bit young for his age, but his case has been more challenging because of the verbal apraxia and trying to figure out just what it is he needs on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, that's got to be really, really frustrating for a mom, because all we want to do is give them what they need, right?
Right.
So you shared with me that you were in a parenting group and you found Method of Hope and Kimberly Maharan.
Yes.
And so
Yeah.
tell us how that just kind of like opened the door to a whole
Okay.
new way of looking at things.
Golly. Well, I'm in many autism parenting groups of various kinds. This one just happened to be a biomedical focus. Biomed, for people who aren't familiar with it, for biomed for autism has to do with treating the comorbid conditions that can come with especially severe autism. In our household, that has a lot to do with gut issues, not digesting food well, and
Say aversions to foods and things,
yes,
sensitivities and all of that.
self-limiting to foods, very, very sensitive. Reese, our 11-year-old, has a really, really hard time with vegetables. Even touching green beans makes him gag. It can be really, really difficult to get good nutrition into somebody who has those kinds of challenges.
Right. So now one of the keys of that Kimberly goes, that she works with parents with, is the body key.
Yes.
So can you tell us what she introduced you to and how it has changed your son?
Sure. Yeah, our whole family is doing so much better on this program. So before our oldest son was diagnosed with autism almost 10 years ago now, I had already been made aware of biomedical treatments and just the general idea of checking for certain conditions for children, treating potential gut issues, especially because the Autism Research Institute, I don't know if you knew this one, Dale, the Autism Research Institute estimates that more than 76% of individuals with severe autism are not digesting their food properly. That's a big deal. And I knew that when we had our first diagnosis. So anyhow, I was aware of the food issue, the gluten-free diets, gluten-free and paleo and keto, and SCD, and I forget. I've forgotten more than I listed. Anyhow, Kimberly's program caught my eye in this group because she was talking about not focusing too much on the body and not focusing too much on what's going into their mouths or not, and not giving them all the supplements, because we were using a lot of supplements. We were seeing a biomedical doctor who was great. He was very knowledgeable and he was very helpful. And the program that he had us on just wasn't sustainable. The vitamins that we were using, I got to be honest, they were vile. They were absolutely vile. And when I saw Kimberly discussing her program on this group, I thought, okay, number one, this sounds too good to be true, but I'm going to look at it anyway, because I've already been on the biomed hamster wheel for 6-7 years. I may as well check it out. Wow. So I did.
Thank goodness you did, right?
I'm so thankful that I did. I'm so thankful that I took a chance. It was very scary to go outside of the paradigm and kind of just, I don't want to say quit biomed, because we still focus on our children's health. Amen. we have to. Kimberly's program, and not just her program, actually working her program, working the different steps that she
implementing
and being consistent with her program has helped us more than any biomedical protocol that we started.
So you've been on it for 6 months now, because it's not like a quick fix.
Well, Kimberly's program, Kimberly's been my coach for like 15 months. Okay. And so we've been doing a variety of things, but yes, the mental wellness company, the new gut brain axis nutrition is new to our family in the last 6 months.
Wow. So let's hear of the changes that you feel have happened because of that protocol specifically.
Yeah. I was actually just talking with a friend about this just a little bit ago today. Reese has a history of being a pretty severe self-injurer. I might get a little emotional here. He has a history of hurting himself a lot. And we went through a period last year where he barely looked at me. And it was toward the end of that time, it was last fall when we were introduced to the mental wellness company. And I thought, well, more new vitamins. We've already tried a number of different protocols and a number of different vitamins. And I don't want to say terrified to try something new, but I was a little skeptical and a little afraid to try something different, because there's so much in the biomed community about managing all the little tiny bits and pieces of everything that goes into your child's mouth. And with 6 kids,
right,
it can be difficult to manage what goes into the mouth of one child. Right.
So what changes have you noticed, like, since being on the gut brain axis protocol?
So Reese's self-injury, I had started talking about that. Sorry, I got off track. His self-injury has dramatically decreased. Since he's also got verbal apraxia, which the way I describe it is not scientific at all. It's like the words he wants to say get lost on the way to his mouth. They don't always come out. He has lots of words. He understands language perfectly. He has no hearing problems. We have been encouraged to speak to him in an age-appropriate way, not to use baby talk or to
use different words, like, yeah,
right. We were encouraged to speak with him in an age-appropriate way, not use baby talk, things like that. And he really responded to that. That was part of Kimberly's program, was just speaking with him in a respectful way, because he's 11 now, and I can see how he was probably really frustrated with with our communication before the program. But, you know, getting him started on more supplements was a little traumatic. It was a little scary at first. I think maybe you remember me, you know, we were in and out of chat a lot trying to figure out, okay, well, there's this chewable vitamin. And it took him a while. It took him a couple days, but he was finally willing to try it when everybody else in the house was trying it. And he finally tried the chewable vitamins and he was okay with those. But then when it came to the powdered supplements, we didn't know what to do. We didn't know what to do. And we worked on that. We found a creative solution to get those supplements into him. And within days, he started to respond. He started sleeping better. His self-injury, it's so traumatic. Anybody who doesn't live with self-injury, I can't even explain it to you. It's just horrific. It can be really horrific. And it's terrible to think that your young child not only is trying to, because it's communication, right? They're trying to tell you what they need and they just can't. But you want to help them still, right? So
that's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. Is he speaking better now? Is he having more? So tell us about, I want to hear all the changes.
Another one of his Reese's challenges particularly is he is still in diapers. And in the last 6 months, toilet training has taken a huge leap forward. He is speaking more, not only using words more regularly, but more spontaneously. Even just yesterday, my husband was cleaning out our van, and he was helping. Reese was helping clean out the van. And here's another fun one for you, Dale. He went outside. It's in the 40s in Minnesota right now. It's really cold. But he went outside in shorts and a t-shirt. And within about 10 minutes, he came back inside. He changed his shirt. He changed into something warmer, and he put his boots on. So he's preparing for weather, and he's paying attention to he's more connected with his body in such a way that he's willing and able to think through, oh, okay, I'm cold. I better go put some clothes on. So he did that. But not only that, as he was running back out the door, he stopped at the door. He turned and he looked in my eyes and he said, "See you in a little bit, Mom." I was stunned. Last year at this time, he would barely look at me. Wow. I had a couple of weeks where I barely heard his voice. I know. Wow. And in 6 months, not only is he better able to advocate for himself, but our relationship is improving so much. And not just being him, but he and his father, and he and his siblings, and all the siblings together. Everybody's getting along better now since we started this protocol.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Awesome.
And I saw that you did a post and showed him writing his name. Can you talk about that?
Different kiddo.
Different kiddo? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you got me going over here, girl.
Well,
wow. How do you put a price on that? It's like,
right. You can't. You can't put a price on that. And I know there are, biomed families know what I'm talking about. There is so much stigma, and there's so much trauma. And there are fads in everything, right? And there are doctors with the latest, greatest research, and it's so much. It's so much to keep track of. Right. And for us, a family of 6 with 1 income, we can't afford the special doctors.
Yeah. All the research, to me, the stories are the most important thing of all. I don't care. I don't even really care about the science. If you know what I mean? Like I do to a certain extent, because when you look at the science of the microbiome and how that affects everything, it all makes sense. But for me, when I hear stories like you, and I hear all the stories that are in our Mental Wellness Warriors community, and if you're not in that community, please let us know. We will invite you in and see for yourself. Sure. To me, it's the stories. You know what I mean? Like if there's a mom and you have nothing to lose, that's the thing. Like you said, it was like a little bit scary to try something new, but you had nothing to lose. And
Right.
what if this was the thing that made the difference? And for you, it
Right.
was. And for so many other moms too.
Yes.
It's
And,
amazing.
one of the things that really caught my attention about the protocol was the money back guarantee.
Yeah.
Because I thought, oh, okay, well, I have very little to lose. If we try this and it flops like everything else has flopped, if we try it and nothing works, I'll just get my money back and we'll call it stupid tax if I lose any money and, just move on to the next thing.
Right.
But it's worked. It's worked for us. It's worked so well. It's
Amazing.
stunning.
So
And
talk
not
about
only for
you.
kids, but for me.
Yeah, I was just going to say, so talk about for you, what it has done for you. I mean, it's
Well,
still a family thing. If anyone in the family is having difficulty, everyone, that it just trickles into the entire family.
it does. It does. And, I don't remember who came up with this research, but the stress levels of special needs parents have been compared to combat veterans PTSD.
I believe it.
There's
I believe it.
somebody's made an equivocation there, and I certainly
Wow.
I would not compare my experiences with my children to that of a combat veteran. I'm so thankful for all of those people who lay their lives down for all Americans, but there's that hypervigilance of having to feel like you have to be ready for something, for whatever's coming, and
Right.
not
Right.
being able to truly rest. Oh, Dale, I'm still in the process of trying to recover my sleep.
Right. Right.
But the products have helped me there too. I no longer have panic attacks, which is huge. It's been huge for me. I don't have panic attacks. My depression is being managed really well. I'm sleeping for more hours at a time. I used to sleep for 2 or 3 hours at a time and then be wide awake for hours and not be able to get back to sleep. And I went through that for years. And, part of it is that hypervigilance, because I would wake up listening to the house, like what's going on.
Yeah. I mean, you're like fight or flight. You're in
Constantly.
constant fight or flight, which is not,
Yep.
Our bodies are not meant to be in that state.
Right.
Yeah.
And, I was so stressed and I was gaining weight and, I was gaining a lot of weight and I was doing all the right things. I was eating the right healthy way and I was trying to exercise, but I was so exhausted. I couldn't keep up with anything.
Wow.
And
so now, how is your energy levels now, would you say?
Well, I didn't sleep great last night, but like I said, I'm still recovering sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I can get through my task list every day without having to take a nap at 3 p.m.
That's awesome.
It is. I don't live on coffee. I don't have to have coffee 4 times a day. I have a cup of coffee in the morning. Sometimes I have a cup of coffee in the afternoon, but I don't feel like I need caffeine or stimulants to stay awake or to keep me going. I no longer have that mom brain fog everybody jokes about.
Yeah.
I can think clearly and
your stress resilience is up.
Way up.
Yeah, that's the main thing, is the stress resilience. And and people think, what does that have to do with gut health? Well, it's totally connected. But that's another whole video, right? That's another video. So we
can talk about that next week.
Yeah, we can definitely come back, but I wanted to just really thank you so much for sharing your story of your boys. And I'm
absolutely
beyond elated, and I don't even know what the words are.
It's been such a blessing.
Yeah.
This has been such a blessing. I'm not exaggerating when I'm saying it's saving our family. It's saving our family. Absolutely, 100%. We have had good results with other supplement protocols and with other programs. We have had decent results. but nothing has lasted. Nothing so far has been as sustainable for us as this program, because even the company structure, even the structure of the sales portion is helping us. So it's, yeah, the mental wellness company was exactly what we needed. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to end it right there. And again, thank you so much for being with me.
Absolutely.
And if you want to come and see some more stories, let us know, and we'll invite you into our community, and you can see some stories. And there's some science stuff in there too.
Yes.
So thank you, Allie. You're amazing. What a warrior you are, the mom of 6. Bow to you, bow to you. Amazing, amazing. All right, thank you again. Thank you.
Thanks, Dale. Take care.